Hello everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith, and this is the Shadows of Brimstone Wave 1 and 2 unboxing video. So if you haven't seen all the unpacking videos that I've done for this game already, I did 3 of them because there was that much content. It literally took me, well, I guess they were about 20 minutes or so each, so running around almost an hour in order to unpack everything, and that wasn't even unboxing it. Now, just a little disclaimer about this unboxing is, again, I'm not unboxing everything in this 1 to 2 wave because I own half of it. So what I'm going to unbox for you right now is kind of like the latest and greatest, the stuff that maybe just hit retail or is going to be hitting retail in the future. There is a couple items here that already are in retail, but they're kind of mixed in. So I'll be keeping some of this for myself personally and then reselling some of it. I'll let you know as I go along, just so you're aware of kind of what's new and what's not, or at least I'll try my best. But we're really going to be focusing on the unboxing. So let's get started and start cracking some stuff open. So I have all these packages over here to open. I have these 2 boxes, and above this, off the screen, I have the Derelict Ship and the Blasted Waste pack. So both of those to open as well. So I don't know which one to start first. I think the ones that make the most sense are probably, we'll just put these off the sides, do these little packs first. So I'll do it these one at a time, because essentially they're kind of a mixed bag. So essentially you've got like Guardians in here, you've got yourself some Darkstone Brutes. Now I already have these, but I will be taking the extra Guardian that I got because of this card. I have 1 Guardian already, but this card allows 2 to come in the game, and this Wave 2 now gave me a second Guardian. So now I'm not going to need the cards for it necessarily, but I'll definitely want the miniature. So, and then in the burrower in the back, I'm absolutely keeping, because that's a miniature in of itself, and I don't own it currently. I don't even think it isn't retail yet. So I'm really excited to be able to add that to the game, and it's a massive, massive miniature too. It's not small. All right, so we're going to crack this open, and I'll probably end up, once I open this up, I'll probably end up putting it back in the same box, or back in the same bag, I should say, but we'll see how this thing goes. So what do we got here? We've got ourselves, looks like we got ourselves, like I said, a pack of cards, Guardian cards. Again, it's going to be a mixture of probably some other enemies that are here. The enemy pack Brutes sheet, kind of a painting guide. That's another thing I really like about this, is they include a painting guide so that you can actually kind of paint your miniatures. I think that's really cool. Same thing, Dark Brutes, there you go. There's some like examples of what they look like. And again, new enemies and their threat cards. Here we go, you get the Double XL, the Burrower enemy pack. And the cool thing with these really big enemies is they actually come with missions, standalone missions. So they increase not only the game's randomness of encountering such a monster, but they actually give you missions where you're almost probably guaranteed to confront that particular enemy, which I think is really cool. Again, I have the Darkstone Brutes, so this one's not going to be as used for me, and I'll have to package this up with what I'm selling. The Guardian, or actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think I have the Darkstone Brutes already, but the paint job of the ones that I purchased were so terrible that I may end up keeping them, so I might end up keeping this too. The Guardian, though, I don't need this necessarily anymore, but I will be keeping the miniature for it. The Burrower, I'll be keeping the miniature and all the paperwork because I do not have this one at all. And again, the cool thing is they both have 2 sides. Again, one's nastier than the other. So that's that pack. That was pretty straightforward. So I'm just going to throw it back in. I'm not going to bother sealing it on camera, but I will just chuck them back into the same packaging, so off camera, so that it's easy for me to inventory this stuff later. So normally, guys, when I do an unboxing, I would just be throwing stuff all over the table, but I do actually want to be able to go through this at a later date and understand what went with what. This one right here is the Henchman Exploration chart, as well as all of the allies that come with the Henchmen and stuff, so this is really cool. I don't have any of this content, so this stuff is brand spanking new, for sure. So we're going to have ourselves a nice deck of ally cards. So you can see like ally specialties. I'm sure these aren't the only cards that come in this. There's probably a whole bunch more. Yeah, you get some darkness cards in there, some gear cards to add to your decks. That's really, really cool. So there's your cards for you can have a faithful dog. Again, there's miniatures for all this stuff except for the gear cards, obviously. But again, just further enhances the game, makes it even better. The other crazy thing is I started to sleeve this game. Yeah, imagine that. There's thousands of cards. I think it's over 1,000 easy. And it was kind of insane. I don't typically sleeve everything, but there's certain games that I sleeve because they're going to get heavy use. That's kind of what the road I go down. And this is really cool, actually. These are really small. So compared to the bigger ones like this, these are like miniature cue cards for the allies. I like that. So if you have an ally in front of you, you're just going to have a mini card that represents them, but it's not going to take up a ton of space. That's really cool. You get some tokens again that represent your heroes. You get yourself a book that's actually fairly thick. There's probably 8 pages or so in here. This is going to let you know kind of like what they do, what their abilities are, advanced allies. So like the mule, for instance, being able to come with you and help you out in the mine by carrying extra stuff. There doesn't appear to be any missions, but again, a nice paint guide in the back. That's always awesome. I always appreciate that because when I start painting this stuff, it would be nice to have a guide. Oh, that's right. This is the one, guys, that actually had taped on the back some promo cards. If I'm not mistaken, these cards are promos that you can only get through Flying Frog when you purchase their stuff. So the Trusty Pistol, the Scroll of Flames, the Void Grenade, and the Scorch Pistol. These are the kind of things that are only in, and there's actually a couple cards behind it. So I don't know if there's 2 and 1 in some of these or not, but it looks like there's 2. Yeah, it's a separate one on the back. Oh, nice. Darkstone Prism, Void Canary. So yes, these are kind of like Broken Statue. These are promo cards. So these cards you could find if you went to like Gen Con or you went to one of their events where they happen to be there with a booth. I think they also included some of these if you purchase it directly from their website, but I don't know if all of them are. So I know Scorch Pistol is a Tradera-based weapon and stuff like that. I don't know about the rest, but it's really cool that we get all those promos and I don't have to run around trying to find them all. That's always a plus. So I'm going to throw these back into the bag really quick. Quite happy with that pack. So we'll take these, chuck them back in. I'm going to have to sort them later. That's going to be a blast. The cool thing is that I'm very familiar with the game, so by having all of this stuff already, in terms of the core stuff, not this stuff, it's going to be really easy to add it into the game because I already know kind of how to do that. And if you're coming at this, I think for anybody that's receiving all this stuff in the mail and they're like looking at it for the first time, it's going to be nightmarish. You're going to be kind of going, oh my gosh, should I ease into this by just dealing with the core sets first and then, add in the expansions afterwards? Good question. I don't know. I probably would slowly add them in, but for me, because I've been playing this for so long, I'll probably just dump everything in to get right to the kind of like all-in situation where we have just absolute insanity going on at once, which sounds like a blast to me. This is going to be a little tougher to get back in the bag, but this one here is for Flesh Stalkers and Flesh Drones. I do not have either of these, so I'll be keeping the miniatures as well as all the cards. So again, 2 cards for each. Inside of this, I think you're going to get yourself the Deluxe Enemy Pack. Typically when it says Deluxe Enemy Pack, it means it comes with missions. Kind of like, yep, so there's some missions there. So some more extra missions again. Just awesome. I don't even know, and I'm going to have to do a final count when I'm all done with how many missions are in this game, but I'm going to guess it's probably in the range of about 40 to 60, something like that with all the expansions, because some of the larger ones have 6 each, and there's about 6 of them. So you're already around the 36 range. 30 to 36 range, and then if you start talking about all the deluxe and extra large monsters, you're pushing pretty close to 50, if not over it. So that's pretty cool. I got some tokens here as well, so those are really nice. Those are obviously correlate exactly to the particular enemy. And again, we got some cards here. I'm not going to go through them all particularly, but I'll show you kind of the card backs. So again, very cool. Tools of Terra. So these guys are meant to just inflict pain and suffering on their opponents. That's kind of why they're called Flesh Stalkers. They're out to get your flesh, and and they use your flesh in weird and twisted ways. So they're going to try and take chunks out of you and all this kind of stuff. I'm not too familiar with exactly. Look at this. Their weapons are like saws and control boxes and some pretty cool stuff to add into the deck. Again, just more things to find as you're running through Tradera, or I shouldn't say Tradera. When you're running through Brimstone in general. I honestly, I forgot, until I have all this stuff in front of me, I absolutely forgot how much I really like this game. Like, me and my friends have been playing this on Mondays. There was a stretch, I think, where we were playing this every single Monday for, I think, a stretch of about 4 to 5 months before we stopped. Might have been about 3 months before we stopped. And then, even recently, that was just a few months ago, and even recently they're saying, we got to start this up again. So that's how fun it is. And the other thing that's really cool about it is by having all the heroes that I do, am able to constantly just bring new people in. So someone can show up or not show up, and it doesn't matter what level they're at, their hero's at. We just throw them into the mix and continue on our merry way. If any of you are familiar with Hexcrawl, it's an incredible, absolutely incredible fan-based made campaign for Brimstone that really gives a overarching map as well as a full story. I highly recommend that you check that out if you're into Brimstone, as it really connects the dots on a lot of and it allows you to almost create your own campaign if you want to. So this one here is really cool because it's going to have, it has so many things I don't have. It has the young raptor, so we have one raptor. Now there is cards in here for 3 of them, I think. Yep, right here. So the epic version has 3. The problem with it is that it only comes with 1 miniature. So some people are proxying it and stuff like that. I'm likely, because I've got everything here, I found it kind of silly that they didn't bother including 2 more swamp raptors for the people that got the gold pledge, because I think it's kind of silly that with the amount of stuff they gave, they might as well have. But I'm going to go ahead and end up purchasing 2 more of those so that I can have 3, so I'm not missing out on that. Sand Kraken, very cool miniature, huge, again coming out of the sand in the desert, likely the blasted waste, and he looks like this. So he's got his own extra large sheet, again a brutal side on one side, normal on the other. I don't have this character, so I'll absolutely be keeping him. There's his extra large enemy pack book, and again near the back some specific release the Kraken scenarios. Awesome. Sounds exactly right for him. And then, of course, painting guides for the raptors and some extra information about them. We've got ourselves a Swamp Raptor card itself. Looks like it's intermingled with a bunch of hero cards. Oh, interesting. So they've also included the heroes' character sheets for when they're leveling up. So this is the sheet that you'd normally see inside the rulebook that gives you, so if you want to play as the Frontier Doc, you've got your skill upgrade bonuses that you'd roll when you go level up and stuff like that, and then as well the ones that you actually get to select yourself as you level up. So there's obviously one for each of the heroes that are included in this, and in this one there's Frontier Doc, the Jargono Native, and the Cowboy are part of this pack. So that's pretty cool, and of course you get your sheets with all those. Once I get to the point of actually mixing these in or intertwining these in with the ones I already have, it's going to be really cool to see the amount of options. And when people go to pick heroes, I don't know what the total hero count actually is, but I'm pretty sure at this point, not including what's coming in Forbidden Fortress down the line, that it's probably 16 to 20 heroes if you have everything, something in that range. So it's quite a substantial amount. This one right here is a mix of Wasteland Terralisks, the Ancient One, Darkstone Shaman, things like that. So the Ancient One's really cool. One of the best miniatures, in my opinion. A totally Cthulhu-based miniature. I talked about this before with the sword. Here's what he looks like when he's done. Full-on Cthulhu with an ancient sword. Looks absolutely epic, and he's huge. He's massive. Again, we got some other cards here. Well, it looks like there's some heroes mixed in this bag. It's got about 4 to 5 different cards, so it's possible there's other heroes in here as well. Here's your painting guides for multiple things. The Hell Cannon painting guide, Wasteland Terralisks, the Hero Pack Darkstone Shamans, Wandering Samurai, Hero Pack Gambler. So these are some extra heroes, the Wandering Samurai and the Gambler. And then, of course, the Ancient One has an extra large. This is what's really cool. I love this about the extra ones, is having missions that are specific to them so that you can kind of build a campaign, say your campaign that has 10 missions in it, and you can almost pick certain spots and say, okay, at the 5th mission we're going after the Ancient One. At the 6th one, we're going to go for the Sand Kraken. You can build it however you want. And if you intermingle that with the Hexcrawl campaign, it's absolutely epic. So again, sheets for each of the heroes. So we got the Gambler, and again on the back when you're going to go ahead and level up those characters. Very cool. Oh, this is so much stuff. It's just amazing. It blows my mind. I cannot, like, my excitement. I'm probably not even showing how enthusiastic I am as well on camera, but I am, like, I think I'm just kind of jaw-droppingly shocked at the amount of stuff I have to go through in this pile, and it's just gotten to the point where it's like I'm almost getting a little bit numb to it. Because there's just so much stuff here. But the thing is, it's not overwhelming because I've played the game before, so yes, there'll be new abilities and new things to learn, but I understand the basics already, so this is just going to make the game even more exciting. This one right here is a really special Outlaw promo character, so this guy here was again one that was very hard to find. I don't even know if they had this available in their booths or anything like that, but they definitely had it available for Kickstarter number 1. I'm not going to bother opening it because it's really just the Outlaw hero with his cards, so that's pretty much that. I think what I'm going to do right now, actually, now that we're at the 15-minute mark, is I'll take a look at one of these little baggy things full of tokens. So this is like a token pack, essentially. And what you're seeing here is basically a base for the Ancient One, from what I understand from the inventory list. And then all of these tokens right here correlate to all the heroes we just talked about, actually. So these are some new heroes, actually, that most people may not be familiar with. So Prospector, Orphan, Drifter, what else is in here? Jargono Native, the Cowboy, we talked about those guys and saw them. Again, it's just a whole thing of tokens, and likely will be tokens for the enemies in some of the bags that we went through already. So that's very cool. What's next? Okay, so probably the next thing that I want to look at is maybe one of these boxes. So we'll go through this one here. So this is a pretty decent size. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to grab myself a knife so that we can cut this open without making any horrific mistakes. Let's see, there we go. So this is kind of cool. These are nice, interesting boxes. Again, this is not going to be what it looks like retail. I doubt it anyway. This is, I think, Kickstarter boxing. So it's supposed to be kind of a mix of a few different products in this thing. So let's see if I can open this without tearing it. First, I'll get the plastic off. There we go. And now, I don't know if this is going to slide out or how much. I really don't know how much stuff is in here. It's heavy, that's for sure. Yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff in here. So this is going to be interesting because what I'll end up doing is probably showing you guys this, and then we'll cut and I'll come back and we'll open up this box and the other two in the next one. So we're probably going to need a few videos for this anyway. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff in here. This is outrageous. I'm kind of scared to dump it because there's so much stuff in here. It's filled to the brim. So here's like a huge brick of cards. Again, I don't know what's in here. This could be a mix of anything. The Badlands Expedition cards, which is a card pack, typically has these Badlands symbol on it. So it's possible this has one of the supplement decks at the very back of this. But this also has all kinds of threat cards for a majority of the enemies that are likely shown here. Oh my gosh, there's all kinds of stuff in here. This is going to be a nightmare, inventory nightmare. Okay, here we go. So here's like all of the actual hero cards for all the new heroes. So we have like the Prospector, the Orphan, the Drifter, and then we've got our cards for the Undead Outlaws, the Undead Gunslinger, the Scafford Gang, Colonel Scafford. I have those guys. I have the Darkstone Hydra. I have these Custodians. I have the Raiders. I have the Serpent Warriors. I have the Serpent Shaman. I don't have the Void Hounds. I do not have the Void Sorcerers. I have the Rat's Nest, and I have the Scourge Rat. So I basically have, the ones I don't have, I guess, would be right here. So it's like these first 5. It's the heroes, these undead ones, and then whatever we were in the middle there, the Void Hounds and the Sorcerers. Those are the only ones I don't have, so the rest will be ones that I'll be selling. And of course, again, I'm not going to go open these all up, but essentially all of the specific sheets for each of the heroes. Very cool. There's still more, of course, because it's like never ending. Oh, there's the Harvesters. I do own those. They essentially remind me very much of the Bioshock type style enemies, the Big Daddies, I guess they were called in the game. And when I go to paint them, I'll likely actually paint them like Big Daddies, just because it's hilarious. Oh, there's a really big card. Oh, there's Belial. So I already own him, so this is going to be a piece that'll end up in the packaging that I'm selling. Again, very, very cool miniature and huge. Oh, we got some nice tokens. So these probably correlate to all of the enemies, or all the guys that are sitting in this. So the fun part here is going to be probably trying to figure out what I don't and do have for tokens, because it looks like they put them all into one sheet, which is going to be slightly nightmarish to figure out. Oh, that's pretty cool. Shadows of Brimstone Kickstarter Rule Sheets Collection. That's really interesting. No way. So is this... That's really cool. So, Masters of the Void, Serpent, Undead, Belial. Wow, that's smart. I almost wish they had a full book for everything, but they essentially put everything into one. That's really smart. I like that. That's like, instead of having all these individual sheets, that's brilliant. Here's hoping there's another one of these so that I don't have to have another. Wow, I did not expect that. That's really smart on their part to put that stuff into. And then of course a couple more ridiculous, massive, thick piles of cards to go along with it. Just craziness. So that's essentially that box. There's nothing else in it. This is a perfect time to stop. So I'm going to go ahead and call this one quits. This is the first unboxing of the items of which I need to go through myself to determine which ones that are the ones that I don't actually have in my collection. So the next thing we'll be unboxing, I'm just going to turn this a little bit to the right, is this guy right here. So we're going to be unboxing this one here, which is a little bit bigger than this one. So I'm not too sure what's in here. It says mission box, so I imagine this is going to correlate to like the werewolves, these guys who I told you, the Lost Army. There's a whole bunch of other ones, the Crimson Hand, all that kind of stuff. They should all be in this box in terms of cards and all that kind of stuff is likely in here. Hopefully there's another book like this, because this is amazing. I got to find out how many. If this is literally everything, this is going to blow my mind, because this is like a one-stop reference for all the missions, which would be absolutely incredible, although it only references this right here, so I don't know. We'll have to see. But anyway, that's that. And then of course above this, I'm just going to tip this up a little bit, you can see 2 deluxe packs. So Blasted Waste over here and the Derelict Ship over here. I'll be opening both of those, going through all the tiles. You guys will actually for the first time be able to see, if you haven't seen Brimstone before, you'll actually see what the tiles look like for these 2 different places. And we'll see some valley tiles inside the Blasted Waste, which is pretty cool. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed the unboxing to this point, and I will see you in part 2. Keep on rolling solo.